You sit down to focus, and somehow your brain slips away in under a minute. It feels like a willpower problem, but most of the time, it's a system problem. Focus is not a single skill. It's the result of your attention being protected from noise, your body having enough energy, and your task being clear enough to hold in working memory. When any one of those breaks, you get the same experience: restlessness, avoidance, and constant switching. The frustrating part is that trying harder can make it worse, because effort adds pressure, and pressure raises mental noise. So the real question isn't, what's wrong with me? It's which part of my focus system is failing right now. In this presentation, you'll learn the main hidden reasons focus collapses, and simple ways to test which one is hitting you. Once you can diagnose the cause, you can fix the right lever instead of forcing yourself through fog. Moving to slide 2. A big reason you can't focus is that your attention is built to notice change. Your brain treats novelty like a potential opportunity or threat, so it flags it automatically. That means pings, tabs, and tiny visual movement pull you even when you don't want them to. And it's not just external notifications. Internal novelty counts too. Random thoughts, worries, and quick checks that feel urgent for no clear reason. Each time you switch, there's a cost. You don't just lose seconds. You lose the mental context you are holding, and rebuilding that context takes real energy. Over time, your brain learns a pattern. Discomfort appears, switching provides relief, and the loop strengthens. So the goal isn't to become a robot. It's to reduce novelty in the environment and reduce novelty inside the task by making the next step obvious. When the next step is obvious, your brain has less reason to roam. Moving to slide 3. Another hidden culprit is working memory overload. Working memory is the small mental scratchpad you use to hold what you're doing while you do it. It's limited, and it gets crowded fast. If a task is vague, your brain has to keep too many pieces in the air. What the goal is, what counts as done, what to do first, and what to do if you get stuck. That crowding feels like mental friction. You start rereading the same line. You open a new tab to figure something out. You check messages because your brain wants a break from holding the load. The fix is not more grit. The fix is externalizing the load. Write the next 3 actions in plain language. Reduce the task to one small deliverable that can be finished in one sitting. When you stop forcing your brain to juggle, focus becomes easier because there's less to hold. Moving to slide 4. Sometimes you can't focus because your brain is trying to protect you from uncertainty. If a task has unclear requirements, unclear evaluation, or unclear consequences, your mind treats it like a risk. That risk creates background anxiety, even if it's subtle. And anxiety competes with focus because part of your attention is scanning for what could go wrong. This is why you can focus on simple chores, but freeze on an email that feels high stakes. The email isn't harder. It's more ambiguous. A practical move here is to define success in one sentence, then define good enough in one sentence. Finally, define the first 2 minutes of work, because starting is where ambiguity hurts most. When you reduce uncertainty, your nervous system settles. And when your nervous system settles, attention stops splitting into a dozen what-if threads. Moving to slide 5. Your body's energy state is a major part of focus, and it's often ignored. If you're underslept, dehydrated, or running on unstable blood sugar, your brain will prioritize quick comfort over sustained effort. That's not laziness. It's physiology. Focus needs a steady supply of glucose and oxygen, and sleep supports the brain networks that control attention. When those systems are strained, you'll feel it as impatience, cravings, and a strong urge to switch tasks. A simple test is to notice timing. If your focus drops at predictable hours, it's often a recovery or fueling issue, not a motivation issue. Practical basics help. Consistent sleep windows, water within reach, and meals that don't spike and crash you. You don't need perfection. You need fewer extreme swings. Stable energy makes self-control feel less like a fight. Moving to slide 6. Stress is another focus killer, even when you think you're fine. Under stress, your brain shifts resources toward vigilance. That means you're faster at noticing problems, but worse at staying with one thread. You might feel keyed up, jumpy, or unusually sensitive to small interruptions. Or you might feel the opposite, numb, foggy, and unable to start. Both can be stress responses.
A useful approach is to downshift your nervous system before deep work.
Not with complicated routines. With simple signals. Slower breathing for a minute, a short walk, or a quick tidy of your workspace, so your brain reads safe and controlled. Then pick one small task to build momentum. Stress doesn't mean you can't focus. It means you need a gentler ramp into focus and fewer demands all at once. The calmer your baseline, the longer your attention can stay put. Moving to slide 7. Your environment can quietly drain attention through constant micro-distractions. Even if you're not consciously looking, your brain is processing movement, clutter, and unfinished cues. A pile of papers, an open drawer, a bright object in the corner. Each one is a tiny, open loop. The cost is small, but it adds up. This is why some people can focus in a clean library, but not at a messy desk. The goal isn't aesthetic perfection, it's reducing competing signals. Try creating one focus zone that contains only what the current task needs. Everything else gets moved out of arm's reach, not just out of sight. If noise is a factor, consistent background sound can be less distracting than unpredictable sound. And if you work on a screen, full screen mode and fewer visible icons help more than people expect. Make the environment boring, so the task becomes the most interesting thing available. Moving to slide 8. A lot of focus problems are actually priority problems. If you have 5 important tasks, your brain can't tell which one to commit to, so it keeps switching, trying to reduce uncertainty and regret. This feels like distraction, but it's really conflict. The fix is to choose a single top outcome for the next block of time. Not the most urgent email, the one result that would make you feel like the day moved forward. Then define a stopping point, because infinite tasks create infinite resistance. A helpful rule is one project, one target, one next action. If you catch yourself drifting, don't ask, what do I feel like doing? Ask, what is the next physical action that moves the target? Priority is a focus tool. When you decide, your brain stops negotiating with itself every 30 seconds. Moving to slide 9. Perfectionism is a sneaky focus blocker because it makes the first step feel dangerous. If you believe the output must be excellent, your brain delays starting to avoid producing something not good enough. That delay often disguises itself as research, organizing, or tweaking tools. The way out is to separate drafting from judging. Give yourself permission to create a deliberately rough first version, not as a motivational trick, but as a workflow design. Your brain relaxes when it knows it won't be evaluated yet. Another move is to timebox the ugly draft. For example, set a short window where the only goal is volume, not quality. Then take a brief pause and do a second pass focused on one improvement only. Focus improves when the task feels safe to attempt. And safe often means you're allowed to be imperfect at the start. Moving to slide 10. If you can't focus, check whether you're trying to do deep work in a shallow work setup. Deep work needs long, unbroken stretches and a clear definition of what progress looks like. Shallow work is reactive, messages, quick edits, small decisions. The problem is mixing them. If you keep one eye on incoming tasks, your brain never fully commits. A practical solution is to batch shallow work into set windows, then protect a separate block for depth. During the depth block, remove the option to respond quickly. Not forever, just for that block. Also, define a progress metric that's visible. Pages drafted, problems solved, slides completed. Your brain focuses better when it can sense movement. If you've been trying to do deep work in 5-minute fragments, it's not surprising you feel scattered. The setup is mismatched to the demand. Moving to slide 11. Dopamine gets talked about a lot, but here's the useful, non-myth version. Your brain allocates effort based on expected reward and how soon that reward arrives.
If the reward is distant or unclear, your brain struggles to invest attention. That's why scrolling feels easy and writing feels hard. Scrolling has immediate feedback. Writing pays off later. You can work with this by adding immediate rewards to the process, make progress visible, and make the next step small enough to complete quickly. Another tool is to lower the activation energy. Open the document, place the cursor, and write one sentence. The goal is to create a quick completion signal that tells your brain this is doable. Over time, the task itself becomes more rewarding because it's associated with momentum instead of strain. You're not broken. Your brain is responding to incentives. Change the incentive structure, and focus follows. Moving to slide 12. Let's turn this into a quick diagnostic you can actually use. When focus fails, ask 3 questions. First, is this an energy problem? Think sleep, food timing, hydration, and stress load. Second, is this a clarity problem? Do you know the next action and what done means? Third, is this an environment problem? Are you surrounded by cues that invite switching? Pick the most likely one and run a 2-minute intervention. For energy, drink water and do a brief reset, like slow breathing. For clarity, write the next action as a verb, like draft 3 bullet points. For environment, remove one distraction source, like closing extra tabs or moving the phone away. 2 minutes is important because it prevents you from turning fixing focus into another procrastination project. You're not trying to build a perfect life. You're trying to restore attention right now with the smallest effective change. Moving to slide 13. Now let's build a simple focus routine that works even on messy days. Start with a short landing. 2 minutes to decide the target and write the next action. Then do one protected sprint, short enough that you won't resist starting. At the end, stop on purpose and leave a breadcrumb. One sentence that says what you'll do next. That breadcrumb makes re-entry easier later, because you don't have to rebuild context from scratch. Between sprints, take a real break, not a switching break. A real break changes your state. Stand up, stretch, drink water, look at something far away. Then repeat. This routine works because it respects how attention actually behaves. It reduces ambiguity, reduces switching, and builds a chain of small wins. If you only adopt one idea from this entire topic, make it this. Protect the start and protect the restart. That's where focus is usually lost. Moving to slide 14. One last piece. When focus problems persist, it can help to get curious instead of judgmental. Difficulty concentrating can be influenced by sleep disorders, anxiety, depression, ADHD, chronic stress, or medical issues like thyroid problems. That doesn't mean you should self-diagnose. It means you should treat your experience as data. Track when focus is easiest, when it collapses, and what conditions were present. That record makes patterns obvious, and it gives you something concrete to discuss with a professional if you choose to. For most people, the biggest immediate gains come from 3 things: clearer next actions, fewer switching cues, and more stable energy. If you want more content like this, subscribe for practical mental skills that respect real life. And for a quick check-in, comment with A or B. Do you lose focus more from digital distractions or from mental overwhelm? This information is not a substitute for medical advice. The future of health is proactive, not reactive.